What's good, everybody? It's your man Big Dun coming at you with a True Players podcast. Another hit you with another episode. I was so excited by last night's victory of the New York Mets against the Nationals. The come from behind victory. They scored four runs in the ninth inning to come back. It was a dramatic comeback against Doolittle. Todd Frazier hit the 3-run home run, and then Conforto got to his first ever career game-winning hit, which brought home Lagares, in which early in that inning, Lagares didn't put a good bunt down, which got panicked, fielder's choice at second base, which made things a bit harder, but Ahmed Rosario, who's been hot since the All-Star break, got a single and kept the inning going, and then Conforto came through. And the Mets win 7-6 against the Nationals. A lot of people were questioning if this run by the Mets was real because they were playing teams such as the Padres, the Marlins, all those lower echelon teams. But like I said in my previous podcast, you can't pick and choose when to say a team is good when a team is not good because of who they played. They're on their schedule, so they have to play them. And the Mets took advantage of an opportunity that they play against teams who are lesser talented than they are, and they beat them. So you can't really fault the Mets for that. The Mets did what they had to do because they're competing to possibly to be in the playoffs and possibly once again to the playoffs compete for a World Series. And you can't knock them for that. Marcus Stroman went six innings. He pitched into the seventh inning. But, there was he pitched great at certain points. There was that one inning, that fourth inning, in which he gave up the 3 runs. They got a few hits off him, and they just gave up, the Mets were down 3-0 in the fourth inning. And then my main man, Pete Alonso, comes back the next inning, hits a 3-run home run to retire the game up. And then in the seventh inning, when Marcus Stroman started the inning, he had a run on base, and Justin Wilson gave up a home run to Wilson Rendon, which made the score 5-3, and the bullpen gave up an extra run and made it 6-3 in the eighth inning. And I was kind of worried because all this momentum that we generated since the All-Star break, I thought it was going to go down the drain to lose a game just like that. But the Mets did pull through, and I'm kind of excited about that because the good times are still rolling. With 14 out of 15 games, 7-game winning streak. And plus, we got the big horses going on the next 2 games where we could possibly sweep this series and keep all those haters away, saying that the Mets didn't beat a good team. We're beating a good team. We're facing a good team now. They're ahead of us in the standings, and hopefully by this weekend, we'll probably be the team in the first slot of the wild card, and then from there we can focus on going after the Braves and try to catch a division title. The thing about, for me, as a Met fan, as a former baseball player myself, I prefer to be a division winner than playing in a one game playoff game. You know what I'm saying? Because there's too many things involved, and too many. You really got to manage your ass off in that one game playoff. Because if you don't win, you go home. All pitchers on deck, all men on deck, and if the Mets could win the National League East title, they don't have to worry about that. They can set up DeGrom, they can set up Syndergaard, they can set up Wheeler, they can set up Stroman, they can set up Matz for the playoff run. It's probably the first time I ever see a team that could put all 5 starters, other than the Braves of the 90s, that could start all 5 starters in the playoffs and not lose a beat. You may lose a beat with Matz because he's a little bit inconsistent. But the key about Steven Matz is, as long as he's not walking anybody, he's not throwing the ball in the middle of the zone, he's great. Get the secondary pitches up, he should be fine. But let's take it from this victory. I was screaming about trading Todd Frazier, and Todd Frazier keeps coming through. Time and time again. After the trading deadline, he keeps coming through with big hits. He had a big hit yesterday, as I said earlier. And this is the key. Big hits, big pitching. And what's left now for this team to do is to get Edwin Diaz back on course, get Jeurys Familia back on course also. If we get those 2 guys back on course, This team is going to be scary come playoff time if they make it there. They'll be very scary. And I like the fact how they're letting the starters pitch into the 7th inning, which I'm a big proponent of. If I was general manager, that's the way I would scout pitchers is to see who could consistently pitch 7 innings each start. Because I'm not a big bullpen reliant type of person or a general manager. My starters have to go 7 innings and pitch and throw 100 pitches efficiently for 7 innings. That's the way I like to build a team. Let's keep the bullpen bullets for the playoffs, in my opinion. So, another thing too I want to speak of, the Mets did sign Joe Panik yesterday. He was designated for assignment by the Giants. The Mets were also in the hunt for Asdrubal Cabrera, but for some reason, he ended up signing with the Nationals. And so did, and the Nationals also signed another former player. One of my favorites was T.J. Rivera. He's also in the Nationals also. It was kind of petty why Cabrera didn't sign with the Mets, because he felt that they didn't give him no interest in the offseason, and they signed Jed Lowry. And to be honest with you, I kind of agree with him. I wouldn't be petty, but if you look at the grand scheme of things, how many games has Jed Lowry played this season? Oh, my bad. He's still on the disabled list, or the injured list, they call it now. Okay. How much you paying Jed Lowry? $10 million? Oh, okay. He's on the injured list for the entire season. Mickey said he's doing baseball activities, but I don't care about baseball activities. I want to know when he's going to get in the rehab games, when he's getting on that field. That's my concern about. To make room for Joe Panik, they had to release Denny Hedgervera, which I wasn't too happy about, because I think he did some decent things. He plays great defense, especially when you got ground ball pitchers like Wheeler and Stroman and Matz. You needed some good defensive players in the infield, and I felt they should have kept Hedgervera. I felt they should have cut Altair or sent Guillaume back down to the minor leagues. That would have been the better look for this team. But like I said, let's keep the good times rolling. 14 out of 15 games. Let's get 15 out of 16 today with Syndergaard on the mound. Keep rolling. Keep winning. Keep rolling. That's my advice for the New York Mets, my team. Like I said, they were left for dead, and they're coming back strong with a vengeance. This is going to be testing. This is going to test Mickey Callaway's skills as a manager, if he improved, if he learned from previous experiences. Like I said before, I don't think he should be manager next year, but if they make a good run, you shouldn't. I mean, if they make a good run, you're gonna look bad if you fire him. If they make a good run, but we'll talk about that when it goes close to the end of the season and things like that. But like I said, they're on a roll. And before I let you guys go on this podcast, this is an impromptu podcast because I was so excited from last night. I was so excited because I actually recorded the podcast before and I forgot to save it. So I'm re-recording it again. That's how excited I was last night for that Mets win. But before I let you go, I want to hit a few things on the Giants and Jets preseason game. Darnold looked good. I like Sam Darnold. He looked very good in that first game against the Giants, even though he played I believe 2 or 3 series. Hit Herndon on a few passes. Jameson Crowder had a touchdown catch, and overall, I like how the offense looked. But I'm really worried about the defense, especially with the cornerback position. They made Daniel Jones look better than what he's supposed to be. Too many easy passes. Daniel Jones was flawless in his debut as New York Giants quarterback, draft pick number 6 of this year's past draft. I don't have a problem with Daniel Jones. I had a problem where he was picked. If that's who the Giants wanted to be their quarterback, he could have been had later in the first round, where they could use that pick to pick that linebacker. But like I said, he looks sharp. All the Giants fans yeah, he looks great. Yeah, he's the quarterback of the future. Giant fans, calm the fuck down. This is only preseason. This is the first preseason game, and the Jets was playing vanilla defense. Do the Jets have holes in their defense with the cornerback position? Yes, they do. But keep in mind, it's just preseason, guys. Calm that down. Let's see what happens, if Eli gets hurt or Eli gets benched. Let's see what happens when he's in the real season, the regular season, where all he's going to do is see blitzes and all types of shit that's going to come at him during the regular season. But my takeaways, like I said, it's the first preseason game. Darnold looks sharp. The defense, I didn't see anything that really caught my eye as far as if it's going to be a great defense this year. You just got to wait and see. Wait and see during the regular season, because I don't think Greg Williams is going to show up his whole arsenal in the preseason. There's going to be a lot of vanilla stuff that he's putting out there. I believe he's going to hold that back. He did blitz the first game, but not as much as I usually see a Greg Williams defense blitz. So we'll see what happens. Next week is going to be at the Jets will be at the Falcons next week, a game that I was supposed to be there live in Atlanta. But due to events happening in New York, I won't be able to come down there and chill with my homies from the Dale down there. So, a little bit disappointing, but, it is what it is. I have another opportunity to watch the Jets live. So, I'm going to end this podcast right now. All you guys enjoy your Saturdays. Any questions, comments, and complaints, if you're using the Anchor app, please leave a voice message. If you want to hit me up on email, it's trueplayerspodcast@gmail.com. And also, I'm also going to be setting up a phone number where you guys can actually text me your comments and complaints also. That's in development also. And you can listen to my podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I think I said that already. You catch me in my podcast on Joey G Radio as well when he streams. You can get all my episodes on his radio broadcast also. And I'm gonna sign off right now. I'll talk to you guys another time. Peace.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.